Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Bullitt Speedway. He starts next to his teammate, MFNSRA veteran CJ Sorensen. Sorensen and a couple of Stuart Haas teammates. We'll bring them down. And we are about to go racing. Here we go. And the flag man will wave the green flag. We're racing from Bullitt Speedway. Warner off with a great start. Here they go through turn 2, 3, and 4, wide racing. Oh, then they go in the back. Trouble in the back, and it's Dougie Shears in the 38. Dylan Schwallenberg, second point standings, he's caught up. Looks like Luke Martin in the 22. He comes in 17. And Schwallenberg in trouble in the Dollar General Toyota. Looks like Anthony Emery. There's Elijah Koufax. And you saw these cars, they were reaching speeds of up to 240 miles an hour, and now they're going to catch up to the pace car. Chris Warner out in front. Sorensen in second, Daniel Voiles, Eric Burton, Chris Summers, Carter Keselowski, Stephen Kimball, Andrew Schwartz, Nicholas Guerra, and Seth Carlisle. They round out your top 10. Dougie Shears had a miserable start to the season. He finished 30. He finished 39th at Daytona. He's still 39th in points, but this isn't going to help him at all. Well, Dylan Schwallenberg's going to finish dead last today. He is already dropped out of the race. No pit stops in this race. Well, we're going to see these cars come in because they were involved in the crash. Evan Earnhardt. Evan Earnhardt was involved. He comes in third in the points. Just realized him. He's right there in the Amp Energy Juice 7. Let's see what happens. This is probably the toughest racetrack these guys go to. They're basically drifting around, and you see Dom Capps turns Elijah Koufax and collects the 22 and the 20. There's Evan Earnhardt. That's where he got his damage. Looks like he might have got some contact from Colin McNaught. Dougie Shears, let's see him. Did he? Oh, he got into Luke Martin. I was wondering why those two were in the grass. And he just spins. Oh, Schwallenberg, innocent bystander. And that 20 car already out of the race. Made some hard contact with the outside wall. So we have some a crash early. Now we're going to ride on board with the man that came into this race second in the standings, and he's definitely not going to leave here there, as he will only get 1 point to his credit. You can see it's very hard to slow down for the corner in sync with all the other drivers, as you saw from that, as you saw and heard from that shot from Dylan Schwallenberg's in car. So yeah, that's what happened. Schwallenberg's out of the race. So let's go back. This is the most unique track that we go to, along with Papyrus, which we'll be visiting in race number 16 this season. These two are the most unique tracks in terms of banking and other aspects of the track. This track is very much laid out like Pocono, but with much higher banking. And we got a tunnel on this track, and a lot of people have a lot of fun driving here. But it's definitely the toughest track, toughest challenge these 42 drivers will face this season. We will be visiting here once more this season, and we are back green. And there's Daniel Voiles in the NOS Energy Ford, already looking for second. He may be looking for the lead here as they go into turn 2. Can he get under Warner? He will. Daniel Voiles. CJ makes contact with the wall. That is 41 of the 42 cars. Evan Earnhardt 2 laps down. Eric Burton way up the track in the number 55. Chris Summers in the 48 car has a history of running well here at this racetrack in the Craftsman Car Series. Summers in third. Here comes his teammate Seth Carlisle, who's had a miserable start to this season. Summers looks for second. By the way, Warner did get the lead back from Daniel Voiles. Doesn't look like Summers is going to get under Voiles. If these guys can work up a draft, they can work back up to that number 10 of Warner and make the pass. There is Nicholas Guerra off to a solid start to the season. He comes into this race in 6th in points. So not a bad start for the front row team. Finished second in Talladega. So a 5-car single file line up front. Eric Burton, and there's Hayden Klein, Austin Blonde, who's off to a bad start. Comes in 37th. There's Jake Williams. He comes into this race 5th in the points. Talking about these guys running high in the points, but we haven't talked about our points leader today, Andrew Schwartz. He currently runs in 14th as he goes under Diego Ospina in the number 42. And it looks like we got some side-by-side near the front. That's the 17 I saw. Oh, that's not the 17. That's the 5 of Seth Carlisle and Nicholas Guerra. And Carlisle barely gets under Warner. They've worked the 10 car's momentum. Carlisle may have the run. No, look at the run that 10 car gets. That was a huge run Chris Warner got. And we have a caution, and Charles Jackson has crashed hard in the 32 car. Looks like we're going to be clean and green all the way back. Ocean Schwartz in the outside wall there in that number 44. Charles Jackson, that car looks like it crashed very hard. Is Chris Warner, Nicholas Guerra in second, Daniel Voiles, Seth Carlisle, Hayden Klein, Eric Burton, Chris Summers, Austin LaPlante, Jacob Lawler, and Carter Keselowski. Round out your top 10. These guys slow down for the caution. Let's see what happened to Charles Jackson. I didn't even see this happen, but it's like 32 of Jackson. Let's go in slow motion here. Looks like he just washed up the track into the territory of Adam Smith. Slides, he saves it in the grass, but it's so hard to slow it down on any track in the grass. He's going to come right back up, doesn't collect anyone, but goes hard into the outside wall of turn 2. That was an extremely hard hit by that fast lane Ford. And a tough break for Charles Jackson. He is out of the race. So let's go back green. All right, getting ready to go back green. These guys have been setting blistering laps around here. Fastest lap, a 38.023 by the number 12 of Hayden Klein. That is so, so fast. Green flag back in the air for Chris Warner. Not a great start, but he's going to have the preferred line going into one. You have to have someone behind you in order to make a pass on that 10 car today. I've seen people try to go down there with no one, and the 10 car prevailed. Both times were in turn 2. Daniel Boyles tried and Seth Carlisle also tried. Down to turn 3, Boyles trying to catch up to Warner in the number 10. Here they come through turn number 3. Eric Burton works to the inside of Seth Carlisle for third. Good run for the Michael Waltrip Racing number 55. By the way, we're talking about Warner running first, but the outside pole sitter was his teammate CJ Sorensen. He has since dropped all the way back to 32nd. So this is not the type of run that we were expecting from CJ here today. So up into 3, now Warner, Boyles, Eric Burton, Austin LaPlante having a great run today after a bad start to the season. And Seth Carlisle in 5th. He hasn't had a good start either. Highlight of his season is his flip in Daytona practice. He also flipped to Talladega in the last race. Now Boyles all over Warner, looking for the right opportunity to make the pass. He's got his teammate, the number 16 of LaPlante, right there behind him. And there I saw a flash of the number 24 of Sean Galligan, the hometown boy. He knows best how to drive this racetrack. And I've seen him pass some cars today. Now he's got the 34 of Nicholas Guerra under him, and another driver that's off to a good start this season. How about the 51 of Jacob Lawler, comes into this race 4th. And all of the top 3 ahead of him have had problems of some sort today. Galligan working under his teammate, Chris Summers. And he's got another teammate up there in 4th, Seth Carlisle. That 24 looking good so far. Let's check in the back and we'll see Andrew Schwartz. We saw him against the wall. He actually made a pit stop, and now he is running back in 29th. So not a good run for the 44 team today. Warner, Boyles, LaPlante, Carlisle, Burton, Keselowski. In 6th, then it's Johnny Gardner, Sean Galligan. 8th, McNaught and Ryan Acosta. Colin McNaught. How about that 35 car? We saw him almost get caught up in that crash. He was running way at the back. He has worked his way up into the top 10. And now we got a battle for the lead, and I don't think Warner's going to be able to hold off the Roush duo at the front. Daniel Boyles is our new leader. Look at LaPlante with the run out into 1, and he's going to take the lead from his teammate. Wow. That was a power move by LaPlante to get by Boyles, and now look at Chris Warner. He's fallen back. See if he'll be able to work his way up there, because when he's up front, he is fast. Warner already looking for 3rd. There's 2 Gibbs cars, so we've seen a lot of 2 driver duos from teams today. I've seen the 55 and the 15. I've seen the 18, the 11 now, Johnny Gardner and Carter Keselowski. I've also, we've seen the Stewart House duo. We saw them at the beginning, and now the Roush duo is 1-2. And we've seen 2 Hendrick cars as well. It's Galligan running in 8th. And he's might get a look at 7th here under Eric Burton in the 55. Look at Carter Keselowski. He's driven that 11 car up to 4th. And Chris Warner in that 10 car looking for 2nd. That car is really fast today. He's lost the lead once, and he is definitely fighting back to get it again. Ryan Acosta, we haven't talked much about him. Finished second in Daytona, wrecked at Talladega, and he dropped to 16th, but a solid top 10 would be a huge help for this 36 team. Now he works under Carlisle in the 5. You see Galligan trapped on the high side in the 24. And looks like we have a fight for the lead again, and it's Chris Warner. Look out, that 16 got a big run there. And Warner back to the point. See if LaPlante can get a really good run here too. I doubt it. Put that 10 car back on front. I see smoke in the back. We have trouble. Big trouble, and its teammates, the Richard Petty Motorsports goes, oh my goodness, we have a huge crash in the tunnel. Galligan is in it. Diego Ospina, there's Jake Williams in the 15. Oh my goodness, that was vicious. There's Dylan Young in the 2. I saw one car flipping in the back. I saw the Richard Petty Motorsports cars around in the back. That was a bad crash. These guys have to catch up to the pace car. Oh, tough break for Sean Galligan. He was running in the top 10, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was around the start of this crash. We saw him trapped on the high side. Let's see what happened. Okay, let's see. Dylan Young in the 2. He came into this race 7th in points. He got some major damage in this. He turns Galligan. Like the 32 with Charles Jackson, Sean cannot get a grip on the apron. He really gets caught at a very bad angle entering the next turn. Then he ends up in the grass and then right up into Seth Cole in the 43 and the 2 of Dylan Young again. Dylan Young up on his side. But then the 43, oh, his teammate there, Adam Smith, he was in a separate wreck. So I saw someone flipping back here. I know that. But I'm not sure who it was. Oh, was it the 9 car? Oh, man. Gets plowed but in the driver's side by Anthony Emery and Adam Smith. DeWalt's debut on the car this season, and that number 9 was sent flipping here in Hartlepool. Boy, Anthony Emery in a dangerous position just sitting on the track. Let's see what happened to Adam Smith in the first place, though. So he's going into 2, and oh, he just hits the curb and slams the outside wall. And there's Anthony Emery. That's a vicious hit taken by that number 9. But now up here, I think it was just a result of a bunch of guys reacting, and Jake Williams and Diego Ospina end up getting together. Oh, the 15 gets on the curb. The 42 has a huge head of steam. They are sent flying into that angled wall. That's a huge hit by both of those cars. Justin Talampis in the 19. And then there's the 29 of Alex Tanker, Evan Earnhardt right there. Koufax sneaks by. I'm going to ride on board with Ospina here in the 42. Then we're going to ride on board with Anthony Emery. Here he is, Ospina. Flips the 15. Ooh. Right into Don Capps. Alright, next we're going to ride on board with Anthony Emery. And the number 99, Cheese It Ford. Now he was damaged from the wreck before. He was running in 36. Slows down, but not enough. And there's the 9 car. Boy, Luke Martin in that 22 and Dougie Shears in the 38 almost plowed the 99. Next, we're going to ride on board with Justin Talampis, and then we'll go back green. Here's Talampis in the 19. There's Adam Smith going into the wall. There's Galligan and Dylan Young, and oh my gosh, that's a huge head-on hit for the 19. and the 15 of Jake Williams. Hard crash. Let's go back green. It appears that every car that was involved in that wreck is out. Luke Martin, Sean Gallagher, Dylan Young, Seth Cole, Jake Williams, Diego Espina, Adam Smith, Justin Talampis, Luke Walker. I didn't see him, but man, Luke Walker came into this race with just 8 points, and now he's gonna have 16. That's gonna keep him down in last. Dom Capps, Alex Tanker, Anthony Emery, Evan Earnhardt, and Austin Ogo all out of the race now. If you're going to win this race, you have got to navigate around this number 10 car within the last 8 laps. We've seen Daniel Voiles and Austin LaPlante be able to do it, but no one else. We'll see if Chris Warner can hold him off in a dominant performance by the GoDaddy.com Chevy. Here we go. Coming all the way down this long front stretch, down to the start-finish line, heading off into turn 1. Green flag back in the air. Warner has not been on top of the restarts very much, I will say that. Oh, Ryan Acosta gets turned! Look out! Look out! Oh, and they slide back up and collect Mark Matthews in the 27. He came into this race 8th in the points. Acosta and Carlisle. This is not the race for the win, but it is the race for the lead. LaPlante to the inside of Warner. And now 3 wide for second. LaPlante's got the lead. Look at Johnny Gardner in the 18. Where did he come from? And LaPlante will lead him back to the caution flag. And Warner drops to 5th. No, 4th. They all got to slow down here. But, oh, man. A couple of drivers that were having a great run. Seth Carlisle and Ryan Acosta. And Mark Matthews, who started dead last today, was working his way through, collected. Matthews came in 8th in the standings. Let's see what happened. Okay, they were running 5th and 6th on the restart. I think this was all just a result of the 10 car really not getting going. Look at the stack-up effect here as they go off into 1. I think it just got so tight, and the 36 tried to follow the 18, and then the 5 car hits Acosta, and Acosta's going to take a huge lick with the driver's side. And then he's going to come up, as we knew he would. Right up, just clips Mark Matthews. Derek Umstadt and Jacob Kraus very lucky to miss the 36. Man, it's a tough break for all of them. Mark Matthews really seemed blindsided about that one. I'm pretty sure he was ready to focus on the next turn. Here's Matthews, following the Talladega winner Weston Paul hard to the outside wall. Tough break for the driver of the Quaker State Chevy. Let's go back green. Cars 16, 17, and 18 are 1, 2, 3, and they may have just stolen this win from Chris Warner. We'll see if that number 10 car can work from 4th to 1st in 3 laps. But it's the Roush duo of Austin LaPlante and the 8 Bandages Ford and the NOS Energy Ford of Daniel Voiles at the front. And then it's the M&M's Toyota for Joe Gibbs, driven by Johnny Gardner, Warner in 4th, and then Eric Burton in the Alabama State University, number 55, for Michael Waltrip Racing. Colin McNaught in 6th. Can't quite see the rest of the top 10. We'll see here. 7th is Carter Keselowski, Zach Buchanan, Nicholas Guerra, and Jacob Lawler round out the top 10. See if the LaPlante number 16 can get a good start. No, not great, but the 17 peeked to the outside. Gardner looks low, and now Warner is trapped on the high side. That's the last thing that Chris Warner wanted to do. Cuts low. What a move by Warner. He was 4th, but he really cut low, and that's put him back in the race for the win. Gardner in the 18, looking under Voiles in the 17. Here comes Warner in the 10. Under Gardner, Voiles will lose 2 spots. Now they're all catching up to LaPlante. Look at Chris Warner in the 10. We were worried about him getting back in 3 laps. He's already got it back in 1. And a corner. Warner back to the lead. Look at the 11 of Carter Keselowski. We haven't talked about the 11 really all race long. It's been a car number 10 show all race. Sounds like real NASCAR when we're talking about Danica, except she's running 35th and Chris Warner's leading. Now we're coming to the white flag. Can LaPlante do anything with that number 10? Now we're seeing drivers like Daniel Voyles and Eric Burton dropping outside the top 10, and drivers like Jacob Lawler, Timmy Pacioli, and Mark Edwards emerging in the top 5. Here they come off of 2. Look at Timmy Pacioli. I don't know where this 83 came from, with Burger King's debut on the car, running in the top 5. Mark Edwards, we haven't talked about him all day, but coming through turn 3, it really sure was a green GoDaddy number 10 show today. Chris Warner comes off of turn 3. He won the pole, he led the most laps. LaPlante looks low though. Here comes LaPlante, coming to take the checkers. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be... Did LaPlante get him? No, he did not, and Chris Warner wins. Oh my goodness, I thought that 16 had him all the way down the front stretch. But Chris Warner is shown as your winner. I'm telling you, that number 10 car put on a show for these fans out here in England. What a win for that number 10. Won the pole, led pretty much the whole race, and worked his way from 4th to 1st on the late restart. Let's see the finish and the result. Alright, let's see here. We're going to put it in slow motion here. We're going to see Warner and LaPlante race it out to the end. And you can see there, LaPlante, look at the closing rate right there. That you can see right here. That 16 would have definitely beat him in turn 1 and probably to the finish if there was just one more lap. But you can see Warner there win it out over the number 16. And there's LaPlante's number 16 right there. But man, what a race, what a finish. Definitely an exciting race here for Bullitt Speedway. Let's see the full results. Chris Warner dominates, but narrowly beats. Look at that, 5/1000ths of a second over Austin LaPlante's number 16. Mark Edwards, Timmy Pacioli, Zach Buchanan, Jacob Lawler. We didn't see them the entire race. They all ended up in the top 10. Daniel Voyles and Johnny Gardner, some drivers that were really good throughout the race, ended up 8th and 9th. Eric Burton dropped to 13th. Carter Keselowski to 14th. But man, an action-filled race here from England, and let's see the rest. And you can see Sean Galligan disappointing. Got caught up by a little bit driver mistake by Dylan Young, but the hometown boy will finish 28th. And perhaps maybe today wasn't the day. He's still got another chance this season in Hartlepool, here in Hartlepool in round number 19. Costa, Matthews, Martin, Galligan, Young, Cole, Williams, Ospina, Smith, Talampis, Walker, Caps, Tanker, Emery, Earnhardt, Algo, Jackson, and Schwallenberg all retired because of accidents. And Seth Carlisle, he also had a really good run going until he and Ryan Acosta made contact. So yeah, that was it. A dominating performance by the number 10 of Chris Warner. And we're going to see a burnout from him after the standings. So here's the standings and Chris Warner's victory celebration.